What's up, guys and gals? Red Icing finally back to talk about Mass Effect Andromeda. I have many reasons for my absence, but throw those to the wind because I could finally start talking about another one of my favorite game series. However, there are three major concerns I have looking both at the original trilogy and the trailers. A video will be made for each issue so I can concentrate on each subject. I feel like I have to cover it before I start theories, so that some of you out there who make theories of your own will know a little more details about what Mass Effect Andromeda could face. Disclaimers before we start. I am not an expert on this subject, just a fan and a researcher. I may make mistakes, so if you see one, please point it out in the comments, and I will make a correction in the annotations. That being said, leave annotations on. Also, remember this series evolves over time, so be sure to check the date. Lastly, this is a concern video, so the lack of information released may have caused me to think overboard and new information may make these concerns go away. So do not take any of this concern as fact. With that said, let's take a look at one of the top 3 issues Mass Effect Andromeda could face. Starting off these concern videos is the issue of writers, in that a repeat of the past could make the upcoming games lackluster. The Mass Effect series has had a huge issue with retaining the original writers of the game. The creator of the universe as we know it, Drew Karpyshyn, tough last name to say, was working on the Mass Effect universe until he suddenly stopped to focus more on Star Wars: The Old Republic, only giving tips upon how the game should go. Needless to say, the other writers worked in an average ending, and the designers didn't have enough time to finish it before the release of Mass Effect 3. Then, a month before Mass Effect 3 launched, Drew left BioWare. And you can't call him stupid or anything like this or abandoning the game, because the outrage that followed Mass Effect 3's endings was not pointed at him anymore. He knew what was coming and he left. Now, some of you have been thinking to yourself, well, maybe it won't happen with Mass Effect Andromeda. But the truth is, it already has. Within the pre-production stage that started back in 2013, the lead writer at the time for Mass Effect Andromeda, Chris Slurf, another weird name, stopped working on the story and went job hunting, eventually finding him a job over at Bungie to work in the same role since he had worked on the Halo series before. So now you know a little bit more about the truth of the subject. Sorry to go all film junkie on stuff like writers, but it had to be said. Even though it's normal for writers to move back and forth between companies, it seems BioWare suffers from this issue a lot at critical moments. Luckily, they have one very good thing going for them. John Dombrow is writing for Mass Effect Andromeda. This is good for 2 reasons. 1, he has experience in writing for the Mass Effect series. And 2, he was a contributing writer for BioShock Infinite. If you haven't played BioShock Infinite because it doesn't suit your taste or something of the sort, just know that it was like a reverse of the Mass Effect trilogy. Iffy beginning, but great ending that both makes sense and blows your mind. So he has more of a chance to play the field correctly if needed. So EA and BioWare should take note that writers are important and lackluster breaks in the writing lead to huge difficulties. Story-based games need great stories. It's as simple as that. But that's not the end of the video, because I must state why this is truly important based on historical evidence. Do you remember that writer Drew Karpyshyn I mentioned earlier? He had a way different outcome for the endings and the goal of the Reapers from the original trilogy. Yes, I must put in a spoiler alert for those who haven't played the series yet. It may be old, but I still have to do it, and I respect anybody's right not to have it spoiled for them. Alright, the warning is said. Are those non-Mass Effect vets gone? Okay, we all remember the travesty of Mass Effect 3 and its endings. However, the original idea for the Reapers' goals were completely different. The ending we know is that the Reapers destroy intelligent organic life to prevent a grand war between organics and synthetics that would completely wipe out all organic life. This paints them as a confused protector of organic life, relying too heavily on logic and kind of painting them as a demon and a protector. Seems iffy, but makes sense. However, the original idea gave them more human aspects. Even though Drew seemed to come up with the story of a game at different times and having to interweave them together, his original idea for the goal of the Reapers was that the Reapers were harvesting biological life in so that machines could ascertain the power of biotics. As biotics have the power to control the space between atoms, they could potentially prevent the end of the universe, because the end of the universe happens after it expands too far and all matter seems to break apart. The end of the universe was the second biggest threat to the Reapers after Commander Shepard. So this is why we saw the harvesting tubes within the collector ship. See, this paints a portrait of the Reapers in a new light. They are scared of the eventual death that awaits them with their advanced tech and powerful demeanor. So the Reapers will harvest all intelligent organic life and assimilate synthetic life every 50,000 years in order for self-preservation. This makes the story a little more interesting in my opinion, but due to time constraints, BioWare had to release a less interesting story and a crap ending to round out the series. As long as we do not get a repeat of this, Mass Effect Andromeda could potentially overshadow its predecessors and make us all fans again. Even though most of us are just going to buy the game whether we're a fan or not. Well, that's the first of the concerns at least. If you see a mistake or something I forgot, please leave a comment and I will put a correction in the annotations. Sorry for my absence these past few weeks. I have had family events, sickness, and a buttload of technical issues to deal with, preventing me from researching and editing. I will try to post more and research more. As always, if you have any comments, criticisms, or theories of your own, leave a comment down below, and if you would like me to reply to it, type red at the beginning of it, and I will get back to you. Thanks for being patient, and I have to admit, I will need a little help from the community in this series, like I did back with Persona 5. Again, I cannot think of a closer, so...
Goodbye.